God says what? I got all these things what? Prepared. He said, I got all these things prepared for those that love me. But my friend, what happens when he starts revealing it to you? We got to get you out of this what? Fear.
Yes.
Because normally, put this down. Fear. What all do we deal with? Is fear,
Circumstances.
not circumstances, suspicion, rejection. We got to get delivered of all of that. Because God says, if I got it for you, it's prepared for you, sooner or later, I need to what? Reveal it. But I need to know if you are ready for me to do it. It says, I'm preparing it for those who love me. All right? So that definitely lets you know you got to have a what? Relationship. I prepared it for those who got a relationship, but you got to talk to those people. Are you ready for this? And this is the question that all of you need to ask. How are you going to handle something from God you've never seen, you've never heard, or you've never conceived? How are you able to handle that? We got to get ready. Uncommon. Look at this building. This building is in Thailand. Okay. Isn't that pretty interesting? Fingerprints. See, I see these people's eyes doing this.
We're looking for the front door.
Say what?
I'm looking for the front door.
There's the front door. I think right there. But look at this building. Is that uncommon? And what if somebody said, hey, I would like to create a building that looks like a fingerprint? What would you say if somebody came and told you before you saw it?
That look, you was just like, really?
Now, how many of y'all can see the fingerprint? We got that one?
Yeah.
We got that? We're in agreement with that?
Yeah.
All right, my friend. Uncommon. Something that is not in common, out of the ordinary. My friend, that is where, now, as you see Jesus operating in the Word of God, he lived in this. He lived in the uncommon. But since we've been conditioned, this is where a disconnect between us and heaven.
Yes.
He lives in the uncommon. And that's where the disconnect. But my friend, if we're going, as we always say, we're trying to get somewhere. And as far as you are leaders and you are kings, if you're going to operate successfully in the earth, you're going to have to get familiar with the uncommon. You're going to have to get familiar with it. Now, look at here. Here's some insights. Normally, we are conditioned to reject what's in common. It says discussion, so I guess we need to discuss it. Why do we reject what's uncommon? Why do we have a tendency to reject what's uncommon?
Because it's not common.
It's not common. That's the obvious.
Yeah.
We're not familiar with it.
Not familiar with it.
It's not the norm.
It's not the norm.
I didn't come up with the idea.
You didn't come up with the idea.
Nobody else is doing it.
Nobody else is doing it. So what? Okay, I like that. When we say when nobody else is doing it, what are we really saying?
You crazy. You shouldn't be doing it.
Say what?
You know what's common is what everybody's doing, the trend that everybody's following, something uncommon that you feel that it's not going to fit in with the mold of society or what the normal people are doing, so you reject it to stay in with society.
Yes.
Now, is that right?
No.
Were we called to follow with what society is doing?
Remember when you taught us about Moses and how the people
so they sent Moses to see it because they couldn't handle it.
Right.
So sometimes that comes into play. We go back into that cycle of not wanting to handle it, afraid of what's gonna happen.
Fear's a big one.
Sarah Foster from Utah says it's comfort zone.
Comfort zone. Now, I was thinking of a C word. Let's go ahead and put it out here. When something is unfamiliar and we can't control it, what do? Because we like to control. And when we see something that's uncommon, we can't control it, so we what? My friend, uncommon is going to reveal what's inside of you.
Say that again.
Uncommon things will, when you face something that's uncommon, it's going to do a huge revealing of what's inside of you.
Right. That's right.
Oh, my
Got that
friend.
right.
That's why we're talking about this. Because my friend, look at this. We got to stop. Because God says, I am the God of the uncommon. But I can't keep having you reject everything I'm trying to do. That's not going to work. It work for him. And there are some uncommon things, God, because we already saw it from 1 Corinthians. God said, there are some things I got prepared that you've never seen before. There are some things, some insight you've never heard before. There are some things in heaven that your mind cannot even conceive. I got it all prepared for those that love me. But eventually, I need to feel free to what? Reveal it. But before I can reveal it, I got to get you delivered to ready. Look here, what's uncommon in the earth is common in the culture of the kingdom.
That's right.
What's uncommon in the earth is common in the culture of the kingdom. Look at this. Look at number 3. In order for you to see what's in common, it requires the 4th dimension of sight to see it.
That's right. Yes, sir.
My friend, you're going to have to understand that in order to see what's uncommon, now, y'all, please get this right, okay? The 4 dimensions of sight. Please get this right. The first dimension of sight is what? What everybody else sees. And that's the first one. What's the second dimension of sight? Focus. You're not just looking at something, you look through something. Very good. Then the third dimension of sight. Insight. Very nice. Revelation. And then the 4th dimension of sight. Realm of the kingdom, to be able to see what's invisible and what seems impossible. Very nice.
Thank you, Angela.
Y'all like taking group exams, don't you?
Y'all one big family.
That's right. We are one family. Can I tell you? Jesus
Precious is
spoke
not
on
here.
that time.
One body, many members.
All right, look here. Jesus initiated uncommon events to reveal what?
His kingdom.
Y'all see this?
Yes.
Jesus came to the earth and said, I'm going to initiate some uncommon events to let you know where the culture I came from, this is common.
Right. Yes.
Let's look at it. First one,
Yes.
turning water into wine.
Yep.
Yes.
Good one.
Y'all see that?
Yes.
Y'all see this?
Yes.
That was just one uncommon event. Turning water into wine, that was one. Here's another one. Putting mud on a man's eyes to heal him.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes,
My friend, these are uncommon events.
yes.
Now, here's the sad thing. When we read these, because most religion people, they just preach on them.
Right,
Amen.
right.
But they never tell you that you can live in this too.
Right,
Yes.
right.
So what do? Sit back and marvel about what God did.
Yes, Pastor.
Yes.
Let's look at another one. Look at this one. Telling that disciple to catch a fish to pay taxes.
Right, right. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, we laugh because we like, whew, have mercy. I wish that one would come back. But if we were familiar with the uncommon, maybe it would.
Yeah.
But the reason why uncommon things don't show up because we don't fully believe them
Yeah. Or expect them.
or expect them. Look at it. I'm not finished. Look at this one. Feeding the 5,000 plus
That's
women
what
and
I was
children.
thinking about.
Do you don't see this?
Yeah.
Are all of these uncommon?
Yes.
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 And sadly, we think what? These were only one-time events. In whose time?
Jesus.
Yeah.
One-time wonders.
Yes, that's good.
For us to do what with them?
Marvel.
Marvel over them. My friend, that's why we're talking about this. That's why we're talking about that. Because see, another thing, write this down. Another reason is because we're worried about what other people will think
Yes.
if we start operating in uncommon events. Isn't that right?
That's great.
What happens if I told I want to feed? Why do we think when we walk in uncommon that you are touched? Why is that? Why is that when you start talking and operating, and they think they need to take you and put you on the small bus, the short bus, and put you in a jacket? How did that work out? How did?
Right.
So why have we believed that thinking out of the norm, you have to be crazy? Where did that come
I've
from?
been taught like that ever since school. First day of school, stay within the lines.
Yeah.
Don't get outside the lines.
Yeah.
Stay within the boundaries.
Yeah.
When we was little, we
That's
thought
too
of all
big. You
kinds of
think it's too
stuff.
big. Yeah.
So if you get out of the line, you trouble.
Right.
Yes.
You come out the line, you trouble. You disobedient.
Yeah.
Rebellious.
Yes, ma'am.
Sarah has a question.
Please.
Would you say that uncommon brings out fear in non-believers?
I wouldn't say just unbelievers.
Yeah.
People, period.
Takes away that control too.
Takes away the control.
Right.
But I want to go back here. This mindset of thinking uncommon, you are categorized as crazy.
We were taught to deal with our senses, where we can feel, touch, taste, and if it's out of that, then we don't have no compass or no reference point for that. So how do we, bring it to a norm? Because we used to deal with everything on a norm.
I see. And when we feel like we can't bring it to a norm,
You must be crazy.
then you're crazy. Yes, ma'am.
Because all these things are out of the natural, so it's
Supernatural. Right.
So it's in a different realm. So we don't think like that, and when we think of supernatural or something that's out of the natural, cray cray.
Right.
I think too, sometimes it's our own self-limiting thing that if I can't see me doing it, I don't want to see you doing it either.
That's that crab stuff right there, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It's just like with Noah
up when he was told to build the road.
Right, right.
That's a good right there.
Oh, he drinks, he, no drunk.
Well, we really have to just deal with the Bible. We can deal with the computer, because they was like, how do you get this computer that's a block long to be held in your hand? Like, that'll never happen. That'll never happen. So we can just look at technology now with the people that invented certain things. How are you going to take a telephone, a cell phone, or Facebook and talk to everybody in the whole world? How is that gonna, that's crazy. You know, so that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, so I think we judge according to our limitations.
Right, yes.
That's it.
Yes, ma'am.
I think too, we let facts get in the way. I think even like the guy who invented the cochlear implants, he was a doctor, and everybody who was in that world told him it can't be done. You can't do that. You can't do that. And he went. He had to get funded. No one would support him. And you know, he invented the cochlear implant so that deaf people can now hear. But he had to not worry about what people thought, and it's like, no, we're going to do this. So I'm grateful.
Hey, come on, somebody. Come on, somebody. Hello,
And yes, even with Ben, his pancreas doesn't work, so a doctor invented the pump. So it's on the outside, but it administers insulin to it.
Yeah.
That's uncommon.
That's
Yes.
So
uncommon.
that's how he lives.
Yeah.
So here's my question. How come the believers, how come we not creating all this?
I know it, child.
And we creating another kind of creation.
The wife?
My wife was just telling me, I got into a field of flow cytometry. I don't know if anybody even knows what this was, but it's a way that they diagnose cancer. Now it's state of the art. I mean, everybody does it. When I first got into it, I had to go convince people that was a valid science.
Look at there.
And man, you telling somebody, I've met some guys that can just tell me God is great. Because what they knew, I didn't even have a thought process. I was just sitting listening with my mouth open. And the sciences is phenomenal. We're going to take a cell, we're going to put it in a single stream, and put 2 lasers on it. We're going to count 50,000 cells in less than a minute. We're going to take what's abnormal, what's normal. Good, gosh, your mind, man.
Tell you.
Yeah.
So my friend, yes, ma'am.
Terrell Whiteside says, when you are in the uncommon, others look strangely at your character. They see good character in being common and following along.
Interesting. Interesting. Look at this. Look at this. So, my friend, the summer of 2019. Write this down. You heard it? June the 9th, 2019. This summer, we got to get delivered from all of these things so that we can operate in the uncommon. My friend, we got to get delivered. We got too many limiting things that is stopping us. And that's why heaven is looking down and saying, I want to do so much through my people in the earth. But my friend, they got so many things that is hindering them. My friend, we got to get delivered from this. We got too many stop point. But this, what are people going to say? They don't want to call you crazy.
They call you crazy.
We got to get delivered from this. So, look at this. Speaking peace to a storm.
Peace, peace.
All of these. Now, you saw in Mark 9:39, after Jesus spoke peace, waking him up out of his sleep. We already talked about what happens when you wake people out of their sleep.
That was at 9 o'clock.
After Jesus did that, he said what? Didn't y'all know? You could have done this. But my friend, sadly to say, we are afraid of the uncommon. We're afraid of it. My friend, how can you walk in something you're afraid of? How you gonna walk in something you're afraid of? We gotta stop being afraid of this. This is where God wants us to walk in. Here's the sad thing, my friend. We've gotten too comfortable in what's coming. We've gotten too comfortable in what's coming. And that is really, really hindering us. Because there's another dimension. The uncommon. And we got to learn how to step into that one. I mean, y'all ready to do that?
Yes.
My friend, you got to, you're going to do this? You got to get delivered from people's opinions.
Amen. That's it.
You have to get to, that's why you got to know who you are.
Amen.
Once you know who you are, my friend, you don't let the opinions of others have so much weight on you. But my friend, when you don't know who you are, you depend everything on their perception of you.
Yes.
Gotta stop that. My friend, you gotta stop that. So my friend, this is what we're gonna do. So, yes sir.
How do you detect the uncommon or discern the uncommon to somebody that's really, now that's a wacko. You know, because like certain things that like Ambassador Dwight was saying, that may seem like, okay, that's a mad scientist. He's wacko.
Yes.
How do you discern the uncommon to something that's really, okay, that's crazy?
Well, it's hard at the beginning because anything that starts out gonna sound wacko.
Okay.
Because, your phone.
Yes.
For somebody, 20 years ago to say, Dr. Banks, you know that big gray computer you got on your desktop?
Right.
And the tower?
Yes.
All of that one day is gonna fit in this phone.
Yes.
Now, you're gonna immediately think what? That's wacko. You
Yes.
wacko.
Yes.
How can that ever happen?
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
So, yeah, it's tough at the beginning of it because all out of the box ideas are going to sound wacko. All of them are going to sound wacko. So, we got to take you through this process. All right? So, I want everybody, we're going to read this because we got an assignment with it. All right? 1 Kings 17, 8 through 16. Then the word of the Lord came to him. It's Elijah. Arise, go to Zarephath, which belongs to Sidon, and dwell there. Behold, I have commanded a what? Widow there. What's she going to do? Feed you. So he arose and went to Zarephath. When he came to the gate of the city, behold, a widow was there gathering what? Sticks. He called to her and said, what? I need you to bring me a little water in a vessel that I may drink. And she, as she was going to bring it, he called her and said, what? I need you to bring me a morsel of bread in your hand. And she said, as the Lord your God lives, I have nothing baked, only a handful. How much?
Just a handful.
Of flour in a jar, and on the what?
Oil
in a jug. And now I'm gathering a couple of sticks that I may go in, prepare it for myself and my son, that we may what?
Eat it and die. Yes, it was crazy. I know she
Lord.
was.
Wow.
Last week.
Wow, that's pretty sad right there.
Right.
All right. Now, look at Elijah. Elijah said what? Do not fear. Go and do as I have said, but first make this little cake of it and bring it to me. Maybe you didn't hear what I just said. And afterwards, make something for yourself and your son. But thus the Lord your God, the God of Israel, the jar of flour shall not be spent, and the jug of oil shall not be emptied, until the day that the Lord sends rain upon the earth. And what? She did what? She did as Elijah said, and he and her household ate for what?
Many days.
The jar of flour was not spent, neither the jug of oil became empty, according to the word of the Lord that he spoke to Elijah.
And they still was alive.
Is this uncommon?
Yes.
All right, so this is what we're going to do. We're going to have a group discussion.
Okay.
All right, we're going to split you, this group, this group. This is how we're going to work it. Because see, this is a perfect illustration of performing an uncommon event and also learning how to what? Receive one. So this is what I want to happen. I want this side to focus on Elijah. All right? Because he performed the uncommon.
Yes.
I want this group to focus on the widow. Because she had to receive it. Because I need for us, before this day is over, to see what it's like to perform one and also how to receive one.
Okay.
Everybody got it?
Yes.
So this side, I just need you to look at Elijah.
All right.
How did he perform this uncommon event? I need this side over here to focus on the widow.
Yes.
What do you want the people on Facebook to focus on?
Oh, you're so great. Well, Facebook, I want you can do both.
Yes.
You can do both. Whether you're watching it now, you decide. I'll let you decide.
What is this side over here? The widow?
The widow.
They're on my side.
They on your side. So if you're watching it right now, I need you to focus on the widow. All right? How did the widow? Because my friend, this is what you got to understand. You got to learn as a king in the earth. You got to learn how to perform uncommon events. That's why you're going to learn how to perform uncommon events, but also what happens when God wants to bring an uncommon event to you. You're going to have to learn how to receive it. All right? So this side over here, work on how to receive an uncommon. This side, start working on how to perform one. So we'll give you a few minutes. Scriptures back up. Very good.
Are we doing this as a group, so?
Y'all can turn around and talk. Y'all can turn around. Yeah, y'all can turn around and talk. Y'all can turn around and talk. That's why I say it's group discussion. Yeah. Y'all can talk here. Y'all can talk back there. However y'all want to set it up.
We'll set up as 2 groups, one group there, one group there.
That'd be great. However y'all want to set it up. But
Your perspectives on stuff.
now, I just want to let you know, I do not have PowerPoints after this showing you the answer, okay? So don't even be going that route. Y'all come on up. Facebook Live. This is what we do at the embassy. All right? We have these opportunities where you can get in the Word for yourself. So many times we're thinking in church, the pastor gives all of the information. That's not what we do here at the embassy. I like discussion. Is there any way you can move this around and let them see how the discussion looks? Doing all right? We doing all right? All right, 3 more minutes. 2 more minutes. Let's get it all together. Y'all get your spokesman. All right, good people. I love how y'all engaging with one another. That's what we do. All right. Well, we're first going to hear on this side over here of how to perform something uncommon. So y'all y'all start writing. All right, who's going to be the spokesman here?
That's me.
All right, please. As Ambassador Carl would say, please stand and state your name. It must continue.
Yes.
All right, I'm Vanessa. Okay, and so Elijah had a relationship with God. He listened and obeyed. Doubt didn't set in. Encouraged to follow instructions of God's word, and the widow obeyed.
All right, let's look at yours some more here. Very nice, very nice. All right, so had a relationship with God. So performing something uncommon, that relationship is important. Because is it you trying to do this, or is the relationship where you're getting the information from? So I think that goes to your answer. All right, if I know you crazy and you just crazy, I really may have to truly discern when you come up with something.
Yes, keyword, discernment.
Discernment.
But since God revealed to those who love him and love God, you got the relationship.
You got a relationship. So having a relationship helps.
Yes.
It helps, all right? He listened. Did he ask a lot of questions?
No.
God says, go there. This lady's going to feed you. Now, as I was studying this, did he yield to her situation?
No.
Because when she said,
Well,
all I got
he
enough is just for me, and we going,
Well,
he
did.
could have said, okay, I know God said this, but
He did. He said, okay, do what you said, but bring me some first. He did say, go ahead, do what you said, but bring me some first.
that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Because he could have just said, I know what God said, but through my compassion for you,
Yes. Yes.
don't bring me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But see, that just shows you, obey God even if the situation may seem contrary.
Come on.
To the
Yeah.
outcome.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Because most Christians would have yielded to her situation.
She ain't got enough, Lord. You told me to go and she ain't got enough.
Now, the way you explained it, Lord, it sounded like she was set for me.
Right.
You
You told
know?
me to go, she's gonna have it.
But based on her situation, and as you can see, did God reveal that to him prior?
No.
Oh, I just want to let you know, this lady that's going to feed you, she don't have but just enough for. See, and see,
Yeah.
God didn't put
He don't
any of
operate
that,
like
because it's like,
that.
I don't need that.
And understand, this is before the fish and the raffle incident.
Right, yeah.
Y'all get this. Y'all get this. Doubt. He didn't let doubt set in. He's just like, if this is what you want me to do, guess what I need to do? I need to do it. Encouraged to follow the instructions.
He encouraged her.
He encouraged her.
Yeah.
Did he give her instructions?
Yes.
And he said, thus saith the Lord.
That's right.
Yeah.
Excellent. Very good. Thank y'all. Thank y'all so much. Let's give it up. Thank those principals. All right. Anybody on this side want to? Yes, ma'am.
Speaking on behalf of the Facebook crew, it was a lively discussion going
lot
on
of
here. I was like,
discussion.
oh, okay. So hopefully I do y'all right. And this is Millie from Australia, Sarah, I believe she's in Utah, and Ambassador Terrell, he's from Chattanooga, but I don't know where he's at right now. But basically, it boils down to that she had to have faith to believe in the uncommon, and she not only had faith, but she had to act on her faith. And then Sarah wanted to know, well, did she know who Elijah was? I'm like, well, Elijah was well known in the land. And so we determined that when you live an uncommon life, people are more apt to receive uncommon things from you. And then Millie was saying that trust and faith are necessary to act upon what she's being asked to do. And then Sarah says that not acting on our faith causes us to live in fear, and fear keeps us from progressing. And also that she had to change her perspective, that she thought she was going to die. He said, no, give me some first. A lot of times we focus on ourselves, but if we just change our perspective and get it off of ourselves and our fears, then we can receive the uncommon.
Excellent. Wow. Come on, give it up for the All right.
And then I just wanted to add to it, because at first, and I think that's what we do in the natural as humans, is she rejected at first, but she acknowledged what Elijah said. She said, okay, just as your God is. So that lets us know that she could have been an unbeliever.
That's right.
Because she said, just as your God lives, this is what I'm getting ready to do. Even though you asked me for that, I'm going to go and I'm gathering sticks. I just got enough for me and my son. So she had to change her perspective once Elijah spoke to her again, and really believed she had, like Facebook was saying, had to have know something about Elijah, and at least she knew about God.
That's right.
Because she said, as your God lives, so she knew something about Elijah's God.
That's right. Very true. Well, let's give it to Ambassador Carlos and then Lady Dolores.
Well, to me, I said Elijah had to be a man because he was known as a prophet. So his character, his integrity. So he had to be a man to know whatever Elijah says, it comes to pass.
Right.
So his God, whatever God tells Elijah, you better listen to him.
Yeah.
And so to me, it's like people that that's walking. It ain't like they didn't know who he was. People with integrity, people with character. And in that way she can say, hey, let's do whatever your God says. Because he had to have the character. His character and integrity had to be intact. And he had to be known as a true prophet. Because otherwise she would have never said. To me, when you believe in people and you see what they've done and you see what God is doing in their life, you're more apt to believe them instead of somebody just coming up and saying, hey, just you go and get me two. Who is you?
We've got some of the same things. We got belief, faith, obedient. You got to get out of your comfort zone.
That's right.
She had to trust Elijah to know he was a man of God,
Yeah.
that it was truth,
Yes.
believe in the word of God,
Yes.
connection to the kingdom,
Yes.
go to the fourth dimension,
That's it.
follow instructions, relationship with the Father, and living by the unseen.
Yes.
Have mercy.
That's it.
Oh, I love it. And look at this. Everything started with something what? Common.
Yeah.
It started common. Something that she was what? Familiar with. Make me a cake. Was that common to her?
Yes.
Did he go and see? This is how you have to look at it. Sometimes the uncommon first starts simply with something common. Something common. Because what if he would have said, hey, thank you.
No.
What if he said, I need you to make me filet mignon? Okay? See, I can't touch that.
Yeah.
I can't relate to that. But he started with something what? Common. Feeding the 5,000. Common. So my friend, don't reject what's common, because it could be the pathway to what's uncommon.
Yeah, and I was gonna add to that. It's kind of going back to what we. Yes, honey. Yes. Ooh, I can't wait till you get this mic back. Do that. Go over there. Walk over there.
Good job. Good job.
Come back. Oh my gosh. I just.
Stand up, stay.
That's what I was gonna say. They be distracted. Oh, we always hear that use what's in your hand. It wasn't, like you were saying, it wasn't something uncommon to her, but it was what she already had.
Hey, hallelujah.
In every situation that God did something uncommon, it was what was already there.
That's
so
right.
you don't necessarily have to reinvent the wheel.
That's it.
Use what you got.
Have
Use
mercy.
what you got. Yes.
Mercy. like this. I like this.
I do have a testimony, just a little bit.
Testify,
Now, I'm
sister.
thinking about Uncommon. So, in the industry that I'm in now, being a financial advisor, I work with other financial advisors in my office. And so, I'm huge on education. So, every time I talk to somebody, I feel like I'm giving a workshop, even if it's just to one individual person, because I feel like that's what I'm passionate about, is changing a culture when it comes to finances, the way people think about it. So I have a gentleman that's one of the partners, and he's been in the business for a long time. So they're just so amazed by how I'm doing what God is doing through me. I can just tell you, it's God doing it through me. But they keep saying, but the caliber, they think the caliber of customers that you have coming in, we don't understand. We don't understand how you are doing so well. You know, and it's what I know to do that's common to me, but it's uncommon to them, because they like, well, you're not talking to multimillionaires, so how are you number 5? You know, it's uncommon to them to see, but it's like, this is what I know to do. This is what God has given me in my hand, and He's allowing me to be seen for His glory, not for mine, because I be saying, now, I'm what now? What do y'all say I'm doing? Because I don't look at that stuff every day. I just keep talking to people, because that's what I'm passionate about doing. But they see it because they go, that's what they measure themselves by. They go look at the leaderboard and all that stuff. And so when I come in the office, they like, congratulations. I say, okay, what did I do? I say thank you first, and then I say, well, what did I do? And they was like, well, you're not just number 5 in the region, you're 5 in the nation. I was like, oh, I am. Yeah, that's good. Okay. And so, but I'm just using what God has given me in my hand. I'm not doing, you know, what they think I should do.
Come on, somebody. Come on, somebody. My friend, this is where we're going. Anybody?
Carlos wants y'all to talk. Can somebody back there got something to say?
No, I can't.
We did. Did Chief have something?
Okay.
Oh,
We did us.
Chief.
Chief?
Chief, you got any final comments?
Oh, no.
Carlos want everybody to talk. Everybody to have the opportunity.
Everybody have the opportunity. That's why they uncommon.
Hey, we got the whole summer. But my friend, who's got something?
I was just gonna say, after I wrote it, I said, oh gosh, guys, we gotta do all of this.
Oh, yeah. She's not the widow.
That's right. That's right.
But my friend, this is where kingdom-minded people, this is where we live.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, listening to both sides, I was listening upon the Elijah, he challenged her faith.
Yes, he
Oh,
did.
yeah.
And I think that's something that we deal with, you know,
Oh, yeah.
from the common going to the uncommon. Our faith is challenged, and if we
Oh,
don't
gosh,
walk
yeah.
by faith and not by sight, she couldn't see the jar not being empty and bread still being left there.
Mhm.
So through the dialogue that they had, he challenged her faith.
Yeah, it's all right, because he just kind of was playing, didn't he?
Right, yeah.
He didn't say, if you don't mind, if you think you have enough. He didn't go like that. Even when she said, we got just enough, we're going to eat,
And
he still, okay, go ahead and do it, but.
bring
give
me
me-
some first.
Do you understand how this rations?
Right.
It's just for me and him. We don't have a third plate.
You guys understand what I mean?
Right.
And that just shows you, my friend, that's how the authority we got to walk in.
Amen. Amen.
We got to walk in that authority.
And she, the word said we walk by faith and not by sight. I think at first she doubted, but as she took the step of faith, she walked by faith, then her mindset changed. And because she walked and stepped out by faith, I don't understand it, but because of you, Elijah, and your God, I'm going to do what you say. But I think that's what changed her mind. She took the step of faith and did what he said do, and that's what changed her mind. And that's what changed her mind. And she started believing, okay, like,
Because when she made the meal, the meal was still set up for how many people?
Yeah.
The meal was still set up for 2 people.
Yeah.
But how did she have to cut it?
3 ways.
3 ways. That's a faith step in and of itself. Because she's like, okay, this thing was just really
Oh,
supposed to
maybe
be
she
just me
didn't.
and her.
I mean,
Me and him.
maybe she didn't. Maybe she cut it in 2, or maybe she just took enough off to give to him, and when she looked back, it was enough for her and her son.
Very true.
You know.
Very true.
I'm gonna stick with the 3.
You gonna stick with the 3?
That's fine.
Because she still
That's
got
fine.
some for she and her son, but I'm gonna still give you what you say. I'm gonna give you some first.
Maybe she just did one at a time.
Isn't that just like the kingdom? Isn't that like your finances?
Yeah.
However much you get,
Yes.
you give
Yeah,
God
come on
his.
now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Come on, give it his first. But I just don't see.
How can
Look at the
I
widow.
say-
Look at the widow.
Come on now.
I don't know how I'm gonna break this up, but
Yes,
if
Lord.
I gotta give it to the man of God, I gotta give it to him. Let me give yours first.
That's it.
And by her doing that out of obedience,
It never
Yes.
it never exhausted.
it was taken care of. My friend, you
Yes.
don't see this.
Many days.
Yeah.
You don't see this.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
We always gotta remember, if we see it, it's not faith.
Have mercy.
Yeah.
Yes. That's it.
So she had to go on and naked.
Right. That's it.
My
Ooh.
friend. Do y'all know we got to go? Y'all just still talking. Y'all know we got to go.
Go work.
All right, my friend, let's pray. Hey, let's thank God for our Facebook global. Thank y'all so much. From Utah, from Australia,
Yeah.
and wherever TC is at. TC, you put that me in Well, we love you wherever you are. Wherever you are. My friend, this is how we're supposed to live. Isn't this exciting? Isn't this exciting? To know how to perform an uncommon and how to receive. Well, let's pray. Father, we do love you. This is how we truly rejoice in the kingdom. It's causing us to think at another level. Father, we are not just comfortable with what's familiar, but we know what's familiar and what's common is only a stepping stone to what's uncommon. And we now know that it is possible for us to walk in what's uncommon. And that's what you're looking for, and that's what you're needing in the earth. Father, we are extensions of you. And if this, Jesus, how you operate in the earth, we're extensions of you. And the Word of God says we should be walking in greater works. You're one person and we're many. But we represent you in the earth. So all of us should be walking in the uncommon. So Father, deliver us from all of the fear, the speculation, the suspicion, word about what people think. Deliver us from all of that. And help us to have a solid relationship with you.
Yes, God.
Be people of character, because we see from the discussion one reason why she could believe him is because this man was a man of character.
Yes.
So help us to understand that is possible.
Yes.
So help us to make sure that our character lines up, so when we are in a position to ask somebody to do something that's uncommon, they're not going to say, I would do it, but because of your character, I don't know if I need to deal with it.
Right. Right.
So my friend, let's make sure that our character precedes us. That when we do operate in this realm, people are going to see our history and say, even though you're telling me something that is going to challenge me, because I know your character, I may even know your God, but because of your character, I'm going to do it. Come on, somebody. Help us to get to that point. Because we're going to be dealing with unbelievers. They don't know God. But because they know us and our character,
Yes.
We're gonna go ahead
Thank you, Jesus.
and trust. So Father, help us
Help us
to get to this level.
Amen.
That your will be done.